Good evening and welcome to ELOSOFUMARTAKES. This is our 299th take, live from an undisclosed location, normally in the Alec Bradley Lone Star Studio of Azle, Texas. I'm your host, Barry Duplessis, as always, and I'm so proud, so pleased, and so privileged to be with you all tonight. This is going to be a fantastic show. It's going to be the shortest show on record, but it is our 299th take. For undisclosed personal reasons, I was not able to film and record our 299th scheduled take before our historic 300 take. So I am putting this short recording and video together to show the appreciation of everyone who's been involved with us since the very beginning. So it's my pleasure to announce, my pleasure to announce our, wish I had some kind of reveal. It's my pleasure to announce the most recent addition to the family of sponsors here at ELOSOFUMARTAKES, Artista Cigars. We're so excited to partner up with Artista Cigars, makers of the Big Papi Cimarron Buffalo 10, which is a top 10 ELOSOFUMAR favorites from a couple years ago, and many more. So if you're looking for something from a great portfolio, Artista Cigars is going to be for you. But that's we wanted to welcome them aboard as well, and we wanted to welcome all our very loyal sponsors over the years. Drew Estate. Drew Estate has been a partner of ours for a really long time. From everyone over there at Drew Estate, from Pedro to On to Willie, of course, and some of the folks that have actually moved on from Drew Estate and been an essential part of that partnership, from Fabian Ziegler to Joe Grow. Fantastic folks. But a special thanks to On for keeping that relationship going and believing in me and believing in this podcast. It's been a great partnership with Drew Estate. One of our newest sponsors who sponsors our audio broadcast. In fact, this broadcast is sponsored by Gran Habano Cigars. Honest, compassionate, great cigars. Be sure you download, subscribe, and review today. If you already are a subscriber, do me a favor, hit unsubscribe, but don't forget to hit resubscribe. That always helps my numbers. And thank you to all those people leaving feedback on the reviews. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've had a few recent reviews on there as well. We really appreciate that feedback. Positive or negative, we're always looking to grow. So our audio broadcast is always brought to you by Gran Habano Cigars. Our guest sponsorship and a key sponsorship on one of our favorite segments, the presidential trivia segment, is always brought to you by United Cigars. So every guest that you love on ELOSOFUMARTAKES is courtesy of United Cigars. It's been a pleasure working with Oliver and Nouveau and Dave Garofalo. They've been fantastic partners with us. I love coming up with this segment with Oliver and doing our 20 Days of Freedom campaign that we've done the last couple of summers. I know we're going to have another great campaign next year. We've got already a couple of things in the works, so that's going to be fantastic. So real shout out to Oliver and the great folks at United Cigars. Our major point is also brought to you by Gran Habano Cigars. They've been just an incredible partner this past year, and we're looking forward to continue to grow that relationship. And we just really appreciate the support for them. And then our trusty fun segments, which we are so excited about. Every week, our Everybody Eats segment brought to you by Postani Cigars. We just really appreciate Mike and Greg and all the great folks at Postani Cigars. Yep, even Palmer. We like him too. Those guys are just tremendous supporters of us. Even before they became a sponsor, Mike at a moment's notice was willing to always come on the show. He's been a great guest. We recently had Greg on the show as well. That was a fantastic episode, having him and his brother Mike. Just wonderful, wonderful sponsors of the Everybody Eats segments. One of the segments that I'm most proud of, because I came up with it kind of on my own, and I presented it to Tom Lazuka of Asylum Cigars about this moment. The asylum moment, right? This refuge is more than just a physical place. It could be a state of mind. Some of life's greatest reflections happened in our moments of reflection, and a lot of those moments always involve cigars. And while cigars are very much a community thing, I've had those great moments. I've had one this week where I am currently, and just smoking a cigar and being able to reflect on life. And it's great, and it's always great to do it with a great cigar in hand. So like I say every week, moments like these were made for Asylum Cigars. So light up an Asylum and choose your refuge. special thanks to Tom for being a part of that. And we do really, really appreciate his support over the years. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've had an incredible run. And then one of our most loyal sponsors has been with us for almost as long as Drew Estate. And that I cannot say enough about this man, even in all his curmudgeoniness. I love Steve Saka. He's been a friend, a fan, and a tremendous guest. So thanks to Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust for always delivering that curveball segment at the end of each show. It's great. We really appreciate Steve's support. Steve's done a lot of great things in this industry, but what he's done with Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust is absolutely stellar. And been knocking them out of the park, as I always say. 9 consecutive years in the consensus top 3. It's a really big goal of his every year, and he's achieved it. He's blown it away. 9 consecutive years in the consensus top 3. I mean, that's an incredible run of putting out some very popular cigars and getting into the hands of the people that review it. And it seems like every year he creates that banger, which is great. So Steve's been a tremendous partner as well, and we really, really appreciate all the support of all of our sponsors. Would love to thank also Black Label Trading Company, previous sponsor as well. They were essential during a pivotal point in our podcast, and they've been a great, partner as well. And they're also fantastic. I've had the opportunity and the privilege of having James Brown come on and helping to tell the story. We've also had Derek Matthews from there as well. Tremendous shows, tremendous guests, tremendous brand. And also thanks to a little nod to Casa Cuevas as well. They are my first show sponsorship, my first studio sponsorship, and they put faith in me when I just got started. So to Luis Cuevas and his incredible family, and to the late Gabe Alvarez, who was pivotal in putting that opportunity together. I can't thank him enough. But last but not least, guys, this will be the last thing on this show on this particular show that we'll do. And it's something I'd love to do every once in a while. And so I'd like to thank every single one of my guests for 299 takes. And I'll tell you all about our 300th take in just a moment. But from our first take, Tim Wong, who comes in on every anniversary. Tim Wong, Fernando Zacharias, Hector Alfonso, Eric Espinoza Jr., Boston Jimmy, Chris Noteboom, Aaron Loomis, Bill Ives, Brandon Luna, Melanie and Anthony Cantelmo, Erica Tormson, Nick Jimenez, Phil Schmitz, Terrence Riley, Trey Andrews, Miguel Shodell, Eric Gustafson, Enrique Seas, Skip Martin, Rob Rasmussen, Patrick Vivallo, Nate McIntyre, Jim Stanko, Juan Cancel, Kim Jackson, John Carney, Casey Hogan, Spencer Drake, Grace, and the late Gabe Alvarez, Paul Costo, Brian McGee, Dr. Gabby Caffey, Klaus Kellner, Chris Topper, John McTavish, Mo Molly, Rainier Lorenzo, Richie Otero, Jared Trudeau, Mike Bellady, Barry McDonald, Tom Lazuka, Juan Martinez, Trip Waldrop, Dennis Fang, Jeff Borshowitz, Luis Cuevas, Andrew Brennan, Jack Heyer, Robert Holt, Seth Geis, Mike Rosales, Antonio Gomez, Stephen Bailey, Omar de Frias, Jose Blanco, Robert Caldwell, Matt Ty, Casey Johnson, Fabian Ziegler, Carson Sereno, Scott Colasair, Bill Ives, Brady Hake, Mike Stevankevich, Benjamin Holt, Matt Booth, Justin Andrews, Zev Kaminsky, Kurt Kendall, Mike Giannini, George Rico, Jason Loyce, Tony Bellato, Luciano Mireles, Brad Rubin, Coop came in on the 99th take. I made it 100 takes without having my good friend Will Cooper. But without Coop, this podcast wouldn't exist. He gave me an opportunity to be a co-host on Cigar Coop Primetime Special Edition. And without him, his guidance, and his dear friendship and great tutelage, I would not be where I am today. So great thanks to William Cooper. Thanks, Coop. Appreciate it. My 100th take was Pete Johnson. What a great show that was. Thor Nielsen, Javi Carranza, Drew Newman, Oliver Nouveau, Rafael Nodal, Claudius Roy, Abe DeBabna, Michael Herklotz, Glenn Case, Dan Thompson, Jesse Marriott, and Steve Garabine, Alec Rubin, Indiana Ortez, Ben Lee, Glenn Loop, Sebastian DeCope, Kevin Kythen, James Brown, Juan Martinez, Steve Saka, Scott Pierce, Nick Melillo, Anfon, Joe Groh, Jack Heyer again, Charlie Minato, Andy Effie, Laurel Tilley, Jeff Hogan, George Ramey, Sam Spencer, Danny Vasquez, Alan Rubin, Dan Welsh, Nick Perdomo was my 150th take, Sean Williams, Joshua Habersky, Dean Parsons, Justo Iroa, Amanda McAuliffe, Jack Tarano, Lee Marsh, Antoine Reed, Matt Tobacco, Noel, Tracy Spence, Garrett Robinson, Mickey Pegg, Eddie Guerra, Ram Rodriguez, Chris Monaco, Henderson Ventura, Brian Matola, Dave Hayden, Rob and Randy from Flavor Odyssey. Thanks, guys. Fred Rui, Pedro Gomez, Carlito Fuente was my 200th take. What a great show that was. Special, blessed thanks for having the historical icon Carlito Fuente for my 200th take and celebrating. Howard Gums, Nick Libretti, Karen Berger. Got a lot of repeat guests. That's who I'm scrolling through, guys. Greg Zimmerman, Mike Capolini, Alec Cuevas, Steve Abbott, who introduced me to the Flint Knoll Macanudo, which was amazing. That was a great show with Steve. Jay Davis, Sin and Josh Coburn, Ken Hamlin, John Huber. That was a special take, one that we put together very specially for her. We were able to pre-record it. It's one of our only pre-recorded shows that we've ever done. It was such a privilege to talk to John. It's one of the interviews I've always wanted to do and had the opportunity to do it. It's tremendous. I had the entire Developing Palettes team together. That was wonderful as well. Manuel Quesada for my 250th take. Arnold Serafine, Nicholas Perdomo III, Ian Reith, Jimmy Mayudo, Jennifer True, John Hakeem, Dave Lafferty, Derek Matthews, Aaron Nielsen, George Brightman. This icon to this industry and a wealth and of knowledge has just been tremendous. I had the opportunity to build a friendship with George, and he's done my top 10 shows the last couple of years. We're planning on doing it a third time. We have a very special show planned in a couple of weeks with George as well. So that'll be something that we're also doing too. George will be appearing on our 300th take as well. But it's been such a privilege to work with and have George as a guest on my show a couple of times. Just an unbelievable person, and could not be more generous with his time and his knowledge. And I just want to thank George personally for being there. Frank Cossio, Eric Bai, Tim Osgenner. What an incredible interview that was as well. Speaking of icons in the industry, Les Mann, Aaron Michaelis, Jason Wood. And that reps all of the guests that have been on our 299 takes leading up to our 300 take. We have an incredible media roundtable ready to go. That will be our 300th take. George Brightman, as I mentioned before, Will Cooper, Aaron Loomis, Thor Nielsen, John McTavish, Mike Stepankevich, Dennis Fang, Trip Waldron will all be a part of our 300 take. And I'm so excited. We're calling it our media roundtable. So I'm bringing in media members who have been in the industry a while, some new, and we're coming together with our thoughts and opinions of how media has evolved and covered this industry. Some from what we consider the very beginning of cigar media, which is during the cigar boom. We have plenty to talk about. I'm very excited to have all my guests to celebrate 300 takes of ELOSOFUMARTAKES. For everyone out there, we appreciate all those likes, shares, and comments. Keep them coming. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get the notifications. If you are listening to us later, wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure you download, subscribe, and review. And our audio broadcast is always brought to you by Grand Habano Cigars. Appreciate everyone out there. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful and so full of gratitude to each person, each guest, each sponsor, and to my mentor and friend, William Cooper. 300 takes. Wouldn't be here without each and every one of you. Thank you. And I hope you have a tremendous, tremendous evening. Bye-bye.